Well, welcome back. We're still in the trailer, as you can see, which means the house in Montana has not sold yet. But nothing we can do about it. Here we are. This is going to be our last video in the series. For those of you who've put up with me and who've watched all or some of my last videos, thank you so much for being with us. For anybody who might end up being a student with me someday, you now have an idea of the things that I'm going to be drilling into your head. For those of you who are looking for a midwife and who are wondering, hey, what does this guy really think, or what does this guy really feel about certain topics? Well, now you know. So I'm glad these are out here. This is the last rule. This is rule number 10. Rule number 10 is really simple. Be available, right? One of the most frustrating things for patients is to need to be able to get a hold of a healthcare provider and they can't, right? When I talk to clients about their experience and I ask them, hey, what could we have done better? One of the answers that I get all the time is, I am so frustrated because I try and get a hold of my provider and I can't. So we need to do better as a medical community in helping our clients get a hold of us. Now, there are lots of ways to do that. In the practice where I'm in, we have a great answering service that can almost always get a hold of the midwife on call. We have the MyChart app, which I love, right? This is a way for people to securely message their provider about health concerns, and we can message back. I do promise that if you message me on that, I will message back. I realize that not everybody, though, has access to a computer, so for some people it's not super helpful, but I do encourage its use. Those of you who are already my clients, you know that I will do just about anything to make sure that you can get a hold of me if you need me. Now, for emergencies, obviously, I work in a group where I trust and really, really like my partners, and I think that they will do a great job, and I trust them with the lives of my favorite patients. So please don't hesitate to get a hold of them if it's an emergent situation, okay? I do need to make sure you understand that. Now, I want people to understand something that's very important, and that is that if you're getting a hold of me, you're not bothering me, right? This is what I love to do. This is what I love to talk about. This is what I think about when I'm not at work. This is what I bug my wife to death talking about: women's health, women's rights in childbirth, childbirth itself. These are the things that I'm obsessed with, and I'm never going to be upset if somebody needs to talk to me about something and they get a hold of me. So please don't feel like, oh my gosh, I don't want to bother him. It's probably his day off and he doesn't want to talk to me. Bother me. Please, you're not going to bother me whatsoever getting a hold of me. Now, I do need to say one thing, and this is really to make the hospital lawyers happy. I have really enjoyed starting this little Facebook page, and I have gotten to meet a lot of really amazing people, some of whom are now my patients because of this Facebook page. And I want people to feel free to message me questions about any number of topics, right? I do want people to understand, though, that when we're talking over Facebook, this is not a medical visit. I don't know, especially if I haven't seen you, I don't know your medical history. I haven't done any sort of exam. I don't know your medications, your allergies, any of that stuff. So this is not something that I could bill out to the insurance company and say, oh yeah, we talked about it over Facebook and that was a medical visit. No, it's not the way that works. I do encourage people, if you want to come see me, please come see me. And you can even, you can PM me and I can give you the details on how to set up an appointment and we'll come in and talk. But we don't give, personalized medical advice over Facebook. All right, everybody understand? Good. Now the lawyers are happy. We don't get in trouble. We can move on. So when people are coming to see me, you might notice a couple things that I do differently than maybe other people do. And I get that not everybody does things the same way I do, and that's fine, right? There's nothing, they have their own way of doing things, and they probably think I'm weird, and I'm okay with that. If I end up catching your baby, there is roughly 100% chance that I'm going to be calling you on the phone myself within a few days of delivery. And the reason I do that is because I want to not only check in on you and see how you're doing, but I want to hear your voice. If I email you, hey, how's it going? It's so easy for people to just email back and say, oh, I'm good, right? And in our society, we're conditioned to lie about that, right? You pass someone in the hallway, how you doing? I'm good. How are you? Oh, I'm good too. Thanks. And we keep walking, right? And a lot of times when you call somebody and say, how are you doing? Oh, I'm good. And then you talk with them a little while longer and you realize they're not good, right? I want to be able to hear it in your voice, how you're really doing. So I'm going to call you myself. I'm not going to pass that off on to anybody else. I'm sure my nurses might get frustrated because I do a lot of my own calls, and to them, I apologize for that. I'm not doing that because I don't trust my nurse. Trust me, the staff that we have at our clinic, they're amazing. Everybody I've met, I've been really impressed with. But I do like to make a lot of those calls myself because I want you to know that I am concerned about you. This is not just, a box I'm checking off as part of my job. I really am thinking about you, and I really am concerned for your well-being, and I'm going to call you. And I want you to understand and reiterate to you that you can get a hold of me when I call you. So yeah, I'm going to call you after delivery within a few days just to check in, right? I want you, on the other hand, to feel free to get a hold of me in between visits and check in yourself and let me know, hey, these are the things that I'm dealing with. What do you think? Please, this is so important. Communication between your midwife and you, this is what makes the world go round, in my opinion. You have to be able to communicate with your provider. All right. Have I beat that one into the ground yet? I hope so. Thank you for watching. And if you're in the area, I look forward to seeing you in clinic.